Well, quick vlog. How to tell if you're being stalked or monitored, right? Because many people are, but they don't know how they're being stalked. Right, you'll be escorted on and off premises, right? Yeah. The person behind you will be the person that leaves. The person in front of you will be the person that follows you out of a shop or a garage or whatever. Yeah. But they will actually walk in front of you. But they will be the person that follows you out. Either out of a shop walking. It could be a dog walker, fake jogger, fake cyclist. It could be anybody, right? Yeah? But it'll be the person that follows you in, follows you out. Right. Doing all silly gestures and all that, yeah. Facial codes and all that rubbish. Another way, well, it's just, you can spot them a mile off there. It's so easy to find. It's funny. If you've got dash cam footage on your dash cam, you want about a week or so's footage, and you'll see you want a week or so's footage with your phone location switched on, right? And you'll see the movements, yeah. And you won't tell much because they're following your phone signal, and your location on an app, yeah. They're all using the same app, and they can see your location. So when you stop, they're following you behind, but they're way behind, not directly behind you. Sometimes they may be, but usually they're about, I don't know, half a mile behind, something like that. Or half a mile in front. They can tell you where you are anywhere on the map, on the app. But then when they're following you, switch your phone off. Switch your location off first. And then switch your phone off, which knocks them off of the app they're using if they've downloaded it onto your phone. And then film your dashcam footage, and it'll be different to your dashcam footage with your location on. Because then, when your location's off, it's like they all stand up like meerkats, and you can see them. They all stick out. The vehicles, well, they're not usually there because they're following you on the app, on the signal. But when your location's off and your phone's off, so you can't use your phone, but they can't. They can still use it, but they can't use certain aspects of it. And they stand up like meerkats, so you can see all the cars that they use, and they're looking on visual search because they can't use the your location. Well, they can, but there's something they can't use that makes them stand up like, and then stick out like sore thumbs. Yeah, and that tells you who's following you. It's funny actually when you watch it happen. But I like sequence and patterns and codes and all that, so it's my cup of tea. And let's just say that more categories are going to be added to that code database, which will affect more people, which means that people currently laying the code will be affected by the code as more categories are, categories that do not currently affect them, that currently will affect them. And it's going to be fun to watch, because those laying the code, not all of them can actually cope with the code being laid around them. Every second of every minute, of every hour, of every day, of every month, of every week, of every month, of every year, of every decade, forever. They can't cope either. Yeah. Senior bankers, senior old Bill, senior judges, they all can't cope when their code attacks. Public sector, civil service, MPs, the lot. They can't cope with the sheer volume of millions and millions of people using the app, stalking them. So as more categories are added to the code database, more people will be affected and buckle under the pressure. You watch. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I don't think I am. And those laying the code will have the code laid around them. And I'm not sure they can play that game, because that's playing fair, and I don't think they've played fair. But then again, I always make a note of number plates in car parks. Always have done for 35, 40 years. 35, 40 years. So I recognise, one, when I see it, and two, when I see it again. I always make a note of where the car's been, which company sold the car. And it's just, yeah, it's just. I've always made sequences of number plates since about 1979. So when they're going around the little silly stalking mobiles, I've always looked at number plates, and it just comes in handy when you see them because they stick out like sore thumbs. The monitoring, supervising, and the stalking brigade, for want of a better word. But that's how you tell. And they are also on the map. There's a lot of Pac-Man in it from the 80s. You know, where they're all going around just like, look, they're just going around normal, yeah, but they're stalking as they go. And there's a lot of aspects to the code. A lot of aspects to the code. Different parts of the code. But it's good to watch. Silly numpties laying code. It's fantastic. You couldn't make it up. You just couldn't make it up. Cone vans with 3 cones and 2 signs sitting around being paid all day long to sit in a cone van. In a council, that both councils went bust for incompetence. I get told I've got to go and see the homeless people.